Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burbies 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Namaste to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Lall Show rebroadcast here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. It is the radio with a difference, and of course, we thank you wherever you're joining us from at this time. As you know, the Lall Show comes your way this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 19 hours. So I'm happy to inform you that over the past 2 weeks, what we have been bringing to you was a rebroadcast of previous programs. The fact being that Mr. Lall was on vacation, a well-deserved vacation and a much-needed one, so to speak. So tonight, I'm happy to inform you that he is back with us here in the Kaieteur News studio. But of course, he's not going to give you a program tonight. What we will do is bring to you a rebroadcast. But I'll tell you what, we start fresh with a brand new month on Friday, April 1. Of course, no pun intended, Friday, April 1 being All Fools Day. We will not fool you. We will bring a program to you there on April 1 at 19 hours 20. So, not a prank from us. We're not fooling you. We will bring to you that program on April 1. All instructions coming from the man of the moment, Dr. Glenn Lall. So, program comes your way this Friday, which will be a live program. But what we'll do for the final rebroadcast around this time, I know you had 2 weeks of it. I hope that you would have learned or picked up the slack where, you might would have missed some key information on those rebroadcasts. Thank you so much for all the calls and all those messages. And of course, telling us that you would have enjoyed those rebroadcasts. Tonight, Barbados spending $100 million for 178 megawatt of electricity. And Brassington telling us that the Chinese company is spending $700 million to give Guyana a 165 megawatt of electricity risk-free. All right, so that is the rebroadcast for you here on the Lall Show. Without further ado, we bring to you that rebroadcast. And after that, well, we'll see you on Friday for a live program.
That I say namaste. And thank you for joining me wherever you are. Again, happy Mash, Josh. Tonight, I want you guys to listen carefully to what is being said and what is being handed to Guyana for a hydro project. Tonight, Joshua, I will not be speaking anything about oil. I will be speaking about this hydro project. Not the gas to shore project, the Amelia Falls hydro project. Josh, have you ever heard prices for anything in this world go down?
No.
From time back? Building a house or buying a cow 15 years ago,
Yeah.
the price went down today?
No.
Correct. Well, I got a nice story for tell y'all tonight. The only way a price can go down in this world today is if you buy a pig in bag. Yes, pig in bag. President Ali bring back Winston Brassington to sell Guyana a pig in bag. This pig in bag thing, Joshua, for those of you who don't know it or never heard of it, you're buying a pig in a bag and you don't know if the pig is sick or if the pig dead in the bag because they don't want you to see what you're paying for. The pig not even moving in the bag, but the man tell you is a pig, Joshua. You honey the money, and when the man born, you end up with a dead crab dog, full of mange, fleas, and ticks in the bag. That is what they mean when they say you buy a pig in bag, Joshua. 15 years ago, President Jagdeo, Ashley Singh, and Winston Brassington try to sell Guyana the hydrophiles project in a bag cover-up because the full details of the contract was a state secret between Jagdeo them alone. You hear that?
Yeah.
It was only after Kaieteur News kick up a storm and start exposing the true cost of hydro projects around the world that Jagdeo run go and release the documents to the opposition, and they immediately lash it down. But not before Brassington them. They already spent $100 million US on that project. So that money at that time, Joshua, gone for China, $100 million US. A man named Phip Motilal, who never built a piece of pavement anywhere in the world, was given 40-something million US to build a road in the interior for this project, and the rest is history. 15 years ago.
Yeah.
If I am to tell you all the full story of what they were going to do to us 15 years ago with this project, Uncle, I can do 15 programs, not one. You guys have any idea how many things 100 million US could have do 15 years ago for this country? Joshua? It's 27% salary increase money we talking about there. Every year from then to now, public servants could have been getting 17% increase with that money lost on that project. Yeah. It was the biggest Ponzi scheme Guyana would have had on its shoulders today. Uncle and auntie, imagine the world market price at that time for hydro projects to give you electricity was less than $1 million US per megawatt. And that didn't change on to now. You hear me, Joshua?
Yeah.
Our price tag, we were going to pay 15 years ago, was between 4 to 6 million US dollar per megawatt. That is what Jagdeo and Brassington was selling Guyana at the time for 165 megawatt. That's the reason the PNC lash it down and the investors walk away. Yes. They walk away because they wanted full support and guarantee, both from the government and opposition, so they don't have to worry about their investments, Joshua. And they didn't get it from the PNC because it was a Ponzi scheme. The world was paying less than 1 million US dollars in some places, yes, for a mango. And we were going to pay $4 to $6 million for one of the same mango. That is what Jagdeo and Brassington wanted we to believe back in 2015 with that hydro project. Not 2015, 2008. Sorry. Since then, they were singing that dead, yes, that dead, outdated song of electricity bills gone cut in half, blackouts gone done, and we would not have to import expensive heavy fuel to generate power and mess up the environment. That is the bait they were selling all Guyana, yes, to trap we into a deal that would enrich some people through that Ponzi scheme. Thank God for Kaieteur News, who exposed the story and make everybody see the light in which the PNC jump on to save the day. Because you would have been tied up like a wild hog unto now paying for that project. The same three people are back again. Yes. This time, them slip out some of the words from the song and slip in new words, uncle. The chutney or the soca song have the same meaning. Anyhow you twist it, anyhow you turn it, it is back to the Ponzi scheme. To date, the government held no press conference to tell this nation about this new development. Last week, Winston Brassington at the oil conference made a presentation on this Ponzi scheme, what them resurrecting. And some of the things that came out from his mouth, uncle, is very, very troubling for this nation. Because I can foresee exactly what they're planning to do to this country and all of you. Yes. Tying Guyana, hand and foot, mouth, eyes and ears to this deal and calling it, yes, a Chinese project, and claim that Guyana will not be spending any money and not taking any risk. Let me repeat that piece. And claiming that Guyana will not be spending any money and not taking any risk. Yes. So you guys don't have anything to worry about. That's what they want us to believe. Hence I am here tonight to explain to you people what's going on. Uncle, when you listen carefully to what Winston Brassington, what and how he presented this project at the oil conference, now no one should take this deal lightly, because failing to act, uncle, will see this whole country trapped in this Ponzi scheme for the next 20 years. Just like the Barbados Bridge. Yes, the Barbados Bridge deal with that boot system. Yes, B-O-O-T, boot system. Build, own, operate and transfer. After I listened to what he had to say, I had to ask myself 3 times who this project really belonged to. Who would be really benefiting from this project? And if President Ali, through Winston Brassington, working in the best interests of the Guyanese people, or they are working for the new owners of this project? Those are the questions I had to ask myself 3 times. Yes. When they announced the resurrection of this project, uncle, this Ponzi scheme last year, they told us it's a Chinese company, yes, gonna build it and will sell Guyana, yes, cheap electricity. That's a word. That's a phrase. When you hear them talk cheap electricity, don't take your ears and your eyes off them. Yes, that's what they told us. Cheap electricity. I thought that the Chinese company building this project would hold a press conference and speak to the Guyanese people through the press to tell them what they are offering us and to defend the project, because we had many problems before with the same project. Instead, we haven't seen any Chinese come to front to hold a press conference and say a word about this project. The only time you hear about this project is when Brassington, Ashney Singh and Jagdeo talk how the electricity bill gonna be cut in half. That's the only time you're hearing about this project. Winston Brassington described the project as a transformational project for Guyana that will reduce the cost of electricity significantly. Guys, Guyanese brothers and sisters, listen to him as he describes the project in his own words last week at the oil conference. Could you please play that for them to listen?
Good morning, Honorable Prime Minister, members of Cabinet, ladies and gentlemen of the Diplomatic Corps, ladies and gentlemen. The Amila Falls project has been on the cards for well over 15 years. We believe we're very close now to making it a reality. It is a transformational project. In one project, we have the ability to reduce the cost of electricity significantly, replace the importation of fossil fuels, improve the reliability of our generation system.
You guys heard Winston Brassington? There are lots I can play for you guys, but I just want you guys to hear his words. He began the presentation by telling the diplomatic community, members of the cabinet, and other stakeholders what transpired 15 years ago with the same song. Blackout gone done, we're going to import less fuel, you're going to get cheaper electricity with this project again. Then he went on to say further, the price tag for the project will be cheaper this time around. I don't want to play all these things to you people. I'm just telling you what he said. He said, this time around, this project gonna be 700 million US. Not over the $1 billion mark anymore back in 2015. Back in 2008. This time around is 700 million, yes. Remember, I asked y'all if y'all know anything that is go down in life. 15 years ago, the same project was costing Guyana over 1 billion American dollars. And last week, yes, he telling the audience at the oil conference, yes, the Chinese say it will cost 700 million for bill. Despite steel, stone, cement, wire, labor, and everything else triple. Yes. A sack of cement 15 years ago used to be $300-400. Now it's almost $2,000. You guys reading through the lines, what they were going to do to you 15 years ago with this project price. And it was the same builder who was to build it 15 years ago, get back the contract to build it today at a cheaper price. Raj, I got to say, ta-da! I love you, Guyana. Yes. 700 million US dollar. Not over the $1 billion. And Winston Brassington told the audience that the Chinese gonna build it, own it, operate it, and transfer it free after 20 years to Guyana. It is the exact model, yes, they use for the Barbados Bridge, uncle and auntie. After 20 years, the bridge gonna belong to Guyana. When it broke up, when it turned to nothing, when it gonna cost you more money to repair it rather than replace it with a new one. After 20 years, when they done milk Guyana billions of US dollars, yes, they will throw back the hydro project at us. What Brassington said will be beneficial to Guyana for maybe the next 100 years. Yes, his words, not mine. But like I said, I'm not playing everything for him. He said that during his presentation. It's like you allow a man to buy a minibus in which the man will make 10 minibus money off of you and your family. With the same one minibus, and after 20 years, your daddy happy to tell you and your family how the man gonna give back, yes, the bus for free. The broke down bus, he gonna give you for free, and you daddy happy about that. That's the deal Brassington happy with for Guyana. He told the audience how Guyana will not be putting any money into this project. Listen to me carefully. Guyana will not put any money into this project. The Chinese people gonna spend 700 million on the project, and Guyana will have no risk at all. Yeah, man. All we have to do is sign the contract agreeing to pay the Chinese company to supply electricity. This is the sweetest song I ever hear in my life. That song great, eh? You spending no money, you have no risk. All you have to sign a deal agreeing to pay for the electricity. Hear for yourself in his own words, yes, what he had to say, sir, at the conference. Could you please play so that
We asked them to look at all of our agreements, and we said very importantly, we're not making any financial commitments other than to pay for the power under the power purchase agreement. We also said that we will have independent supervision, which will be internationally tendered to review the works that are being done. So we will hire, through a public tender, a world-class international project supervision firm to ensure that what is being designed and built is built to those standards. We also agreed that we will have an international O&M operator. So when it's built, we will have someone who will be competent to operate this.
That's it? Did you hear him? Did we hear Winston Brassington say Guyana is not spending any money on this project? Yes, he said that just now. Well then, if we are not spending money on this project, according to him, you tell me, uncle, where we finding, yes, billions to hire and pay world-class international independent experts to supervise and monitor this project to ensure it is built, yes, to specification. Huh? Uncle? You understand what a man tell us just now? We got to hire a set of experts who knows how to build a hydro plant to ensure, yeah man, that the house bill, yes, the house bill properly, yes, from the starting of the project to the end of it, uncle. That's what he said. You guys have any idea what kind of money we talking about here? It's like those international people or experts we have to hire will be building the project, just that they are not the ones screwing the bolts, yes, and cutting the woods. Then we also have to bring, according to Winston Brassington in his own words, you heard just now, an international operator and maintenance guy. So when it's built, we will have someone who will be competent to operate this. That's another set of money from starting of the project to the finish line, which is, they said they're starting sometime this year, to 2026. Winston Brassington is telling us how much the Chinese man gonna spend, uncle. But he not telling us how much Guyana will spend on those international experts he planned to bring to oversee and monitor this project. You see what's going on here? They can't find money, or I should say they can find money for a Ponzi scheme to pay international experts to review this project. But they can't find international experts to review that oil contract. And all those oil black agreements, along with them oil supply contracts in the oil industry. No. Them can't find people to review the exploration bills, yes, that we are paying. No. In which our guts is being ripped out of our bodies. Guyana doesn't have money for that. Guyana got money to spend for hire international experts for come monitor a hydro project. Yes. Hear more, man. Just listen a little bit more, man. You have the next tape. Could you play it for them today here again, man? Yes. Listen what he had to say at the oil conference.
And the government is not guaranteeing the project. They're going to guarantee the performance of GPL. The sponsor will obtain political risk insurance and these sort of things. And the sponsor will have an EPC contract to build this. And we're using the same EPC contract that was developed by Blackstone from 2012. So this is an international contract that was vetted by experts and negotiated over a long period between 2010 and 2012. Now, like any large project, there's a lot of risk in these projects. But most of these risks are being put to the developer. So the construction cost, that's covered by the EPC contract, with all the usual checks and balances. So liquidated damages if the project will take longer, protection for all of that. So this is a lump sum price. The geotechnical risk, we're going to stay with the same structure that we had in 2012. The hydrology risk, the GPL will be assuming this. The contract provides for allocation of force majeure risk. GPL will take all of the power from the project, and this project is expected to deliver from the 165 megawatts.
Wow. Wow. Uncle, this man said the government will not guarantee the project. They are going to guarantee the performance of GPL. What does that mean, Winston Brassington? What does those words mean, uncle? Huh? Government not guaranteeing the project, but guaranteeing the performance of GPL. I don't get it. This man is saying that government is going to guarantee GPL's payments to the Chinese people. Yes. And Guyana has no risk. Government not guaranteeing the project, but guaranteeing the payments to the Chinese people. Wow. Wow. Then he went on to say, the contractor, yes, will obtain political risk insurance and these sort of things. Uncle, when you hear these people use these expressions like these sort of things, yes, when you hear expressions like these sort of things, watch out. Is a scheme in the making. Political risk insurance. You know what that means? If for whatever reason you have political disturbance and that project gets messed up, the contractor is covered by insurance. That's what it means. You hear how he telling Guyana that the Chinese company will obtain political risk insurance to safeguard them. But you can't hear him saying that Guyana should and must be protected with full cover insurance from real companies. You ain't gonna hear that for these people. You see, who he proud, yes, who he proud to point out getting political risk insurance for themselves? Yes, the Chinese people who build in the project. You believe, uncle, you believe this is a Chinese project? You believe, aren't now this is a Chinese man project, man? You guys got to read through the lines, you know. You have to read through the lines. Guyana not securing the project, but Guyana secure the payment to the people. He said they are using the same contract they had developed in 2012. They are not changing that because that was vetted by international experts. Man, you hear that? They spend you and me money back in 2012 and pay for that international contract. Yes, that was going to protect Guyana and the project then. Today, them using the same contract terms that we pay for to protect the Chinese man project. You really think that is a Chinese man project, man? Are you reading through what's going on? Because you got to help me understand what is playing out here. Them a gang up, uncle, and talk me name and say how I can get a next stroke attack and that will shut me out forever. Them a try with lawsuits to shut me up and that can't work. So now them a bad mouth me. By the way, I must tell y'all, I don't pay Winston Brassington and his lawyer Timothy Jonas $37 million. What them two judges say may hurt Winston Brassington feelings. And I don't pay Donald Ramotar. Yes, I send his check for the $25 million for hurting his feelings too. I hope they enjoy it and use that money to heal themselves. Ta-da! I got about another 12 more cases with Winston Brassington yet to be heard. Ta-da! Just give me a little update. Uncle and auntie, I want to say a couple of things tonight about Winston Brassington, Donald Ramotar, and their lawyers Timothy Jonas and Satram. But I'll hold it back for now. Because I might end up getting another law suit. Gosh, Raj, I love this program. And I love this piece I'm about to remind you what Winston Brassington said just now. You heard him. Like any large project, There is a lot of risk in these projects, but most of these risks are being put to the developer. Yes, most of the risk, yes, is for the Chinese company he talking about. He said, the geotechnical risk, we are going to stay with that same structure that we had in 2012. Although he didn't come out clear and say who will be taking that geotechnical risk, Uncle. The slide behind him as he was speaking, yes, says it's the contractor taking that risk. But I have to explain that to you. Yes. Geotechnical risk simply means the foundation you're going and put the project on. And guess what, Uncle? We had already paid in 2012 to test the foundation. So we know that the foundation is solid to handle the project. So there is no risk there. But Brassington slides the contractor going to take that risk. Yes. Uncle, there is no risk there. But the Chinese company going to take that risk. What we didn't pay for. Another risk he talk about, yes, is the hydrology risk. And guess who? Who he threw the one on? Joshua, you don't guess, man. Joshua, you got to guess. Thank you for the tea. Thank you, Miss Mortley. Joshua, you can guess?
No.
Hydrology risk he talk about. You heard him, man. I'm going to play him out just now. Guess who he threw the one on? Guyana. The geotechnical risk, well, it basically is nothing. The Chinese company hold the one. The hydrology risk, he threw on Guyana. He said, GPL, these are his own words, will be assuming this. Uncle, hydrology simply means water. It's the water flow, the water supply. If there is enough water or not, yes, to power the plant. If there is or not enough water to power the plant, that is GPL headache. That is GPL responsibility. That is GPL risk. GPL have to find water, yes, and fetch the water to give the plant to generate electricity to send to Georgetown, yes. And if GPL can't do that, they have to pay the Chinese company the straight money signed by that agreement. That is yet to be signed. We not signed the agreement yet. He said we're working on that. How do you like that, Josh? You hear me? This is what Winston Brassington is guaranteeing and want me and you to believe that this is a Chinese project. Yes. Love the Chinese company so much that when the falls dry up, because it does from time to time, you know, Josh, it is dry up. GPL will fetch water from GWI in Georgetown and carry it there to get the plant up and running. These people are a set of con artists you got to deal with. The geotechnical part that has no risk, he put that on the Chinese company. And the biggest risk, the hydrology, he threw on Guyana. Way to do business, Joshua.
Indeed.
He went further to say, and you heard him, Uncle. Yes, you heard him just now. Maybe you don't understand. The contract provides for allocation of force majeure risk. Yes. The contract provides for allocation of force majeure risk. And then he quickly glides away into megawatts without telling Guyana who is responsible for the force majeure risk. You know why? You know why? it didn't come out in Mount Joshua is because, yes, Guyana is responsible for that risk too. Man, Raj, play back the tape, let these people hear again, man.
And the government is not guaranteeing the project, they're going to guarantee the performance of GPL. The sponsor will obtain political risk insurance and these sort of things, and the sponsor will have an EPC contract to build this. And we're using the same EPC contract that was developed by Blackstone from 2012. So this is an international contract that was vetted by experts and negotiated over a long period between 2010 and 2012. Now, like any large project, there's a lot of risk in these projects. But most of these risks are being put to the developer. So the construction cost, that's covered by the EPC contract, with all the usual checks and balances. So liquidated damages if the project will take longer, protection for all of that. So this is a lump sum price. The geotechnical risk, we're going to stay with the same structure that we had in 2012. The hydrology risk, the GPL will be assuming this. The contract provides for allocation of force majeure risk. GPL will take all of the power from the project, and this project is expected to deliver from the 165 megawatts.
Oh, Brassington's are very clear. These big projects come with risk, and most of the risk will be borne by the contractor. That's not true, uncle. You're going to listen to me carefully. But let me tell you, force majeure risk means if anything go wrong with this project, if the hydro fall off the falls due to high winds, if the dam broke way, or if there's an ore trimmer, or for whatever reason the people can't go to work on the plant, Guyana got to pay back the Chinese man the entire 700 million American dollar. Brassington said the project gonna cost.
Yep.
You hear that?
Yep.
That risk is Guyana risk. Force majeure risk. Yeah, man. I hope you're following me clearly, you know. That's like GT&T come for putting your Wi-Fi in the house that the breeze blow hard and blow down all the equipment. You have to pay them for that. Joshua, who signed a contract like that?
Definitely not me.
Well, not even a moron. Unless he's personally benefiting. Yeah. Unless he's personally benefiting from these things. Yes. Don't sign anything like that.
Sure.
Are you getting anything, Mr. Brassington, out of this project? May I ask? That's the deal. Well, your president, our young President Ali, yes, and got the old head, Mr. Jagdeo, have Winston Brassington, them singing for Guyana. Yes, me and you. And telling us Guyana has no risk. Am I that stupid, Joshua, to believe this is still a Chinese company? President Ali? Brassington? Wow. Y'all think people stupid in this country, no? Or they're still stupid in this country, no? Let's move on. Auntie, I'm not hearing you. I want to hear you call me not tonight, Auntie. You guys heard what Winston Brassington told the audience. But let me tell you, the things he did not tell the audience during the presentation. You only hear a piece.
Yeah.
Yes. Brassington told the audience, Guyana has no risk from one side of his tongue, but from the other side of his tongue, this project lists 10 risks. You hear that?
Yeah.
10 risks. The 4 risks that the Chinese take, Joshua, are not really risks that would hurt their pockets. But the other 6, what would really hurt our pockets? Brassington, Troop, and Guyana. Yeah, man. Yes. This same man was said this project ain't gonna cost Guyana any money with no risk. Yes. Now stands with the 6 most dangerous risk and didn't mention all of them to the audience. But it was on the slide he was showing during his presentation. You hear that?
Yes.
That's how I see it. Yes. I think we done carry one story yesterday and we carrying another one tomorrow. But I am explaining everything here for you people. This is why, brothers and sisters, I will repeat. Yes. Keep your eyes, ears, nose, even your front and your back on the lookout with these schemes. Them always coming with to you. Yes, you got to watch them, man. Don't keep your eyes and ears off of them. 2 more dangerous risks that Winston Brassington threw on us and didn't say a word to this nation during his presentation had to do with GPL. Not taking all of the electricity from the hydro plant and GPL not making enough money to pay the Chinese company. Yeah, that's 2 more risks. He didn't tell us. If Guyana cannot use all the electricity, guess what happens, Joshua? Brassington said Guyana still gotta pay. Is either the government find the money from the treasury? Yes. Your tax dollars? Yeah. Or GPL go and take a loan to fix the Chinese people payments. Or guess what? Guess what, uncle? Or them increase the light bill. Yes. Or them increase the light bill. The 7.7 US cent per, yes, per kilowatt or kilowatt. Yes. What a Guyana.
Indeed.
Wow. This is the transformational hydropower plant Brassington wants us to believe will cost us no money with no risk, uncle. You see what these people doing to Guyana?
Yep.
If you think, Auntie, that is the only project that gonna screw Guyana, think again. Because it's not 1 hydro they're planning to bring. It's 2. So all them risks I just talk about have to multiply by 2. And please don't forget, I beg you, the gas to shore $1 billion project is being headed by that same man, Winston Brassington, with the same meaning, but with a different song. That one is not a boot, B-O-O-T, like the Amelia Falls project. This one is coming as a PPP project, not the People's Progressive Party. It's a private public partnership project. Yes, the gas to shore. So don't get confused. This one is even worse. Yes, worse than the Barbados Bridge and the hydro put together. With this agreement, President Ali got Winston Brassington throwing on us. Every single cent of those people money is guaranteed. Win, lose or draw, You have to pay them for the next 20 years, uncle. That is what they're throwing on us. Let me ask this question, man. You think the leaders love them Chinese for give them such a deal? Or is them personal investment? I have a turn away my face when I'm talking these things, you know. I just asking. Giving you something to tickle your brains or food for thought. Yes. You just think about that. Hear how much more sweet this thing is, man. All payments to the Chinese company must be done in American dollars. Them don't want nothing to do with Guyana dollar. They investor tie this deal and this business to one currency only, American dollar. Anybody got a deal for me and you like this anyway, uncle? You gotta love this country, right? This is why I keep saying, don't believe these people what they're telling you. They're telling you half of what they think you want to hear and what you should know of. You gotta dig down deep, yes, into the documents to really understand how they tie up this country with all of us inside like iguana for the next 20 years. And then singing the same song. How it's a transformational project that will chop your electricity bill in half. I am waiting to hear Winston Brassington telling Guyana that we can't see the contract because it got confidentiality clauses inside. That man is a lover of that clause. Yes. Back in the days, almost all the contracts signed under Winston Brassington can't be released because they have confidentiality clause inside. Yeah, man. This is the Winston Brassington. This is the same Winston Brassington who under oath in court told the court during one of the court cases I had with him that he has done hundreds of business transactions on behalf of this country and its people. And when asked by my attorney at law, Christopher Ram, if he has a financial certificate behind his name, he said no. But told the court he has an MBA. And when he was questioned further how and where he obtained this MBA, he admitted it wasn't an MBA, but an EMBA. That he attended online classes and a few face-to-face sessions. That's how he get the EMBA. Yes. This is the man President Ali still have heading. Yes. The largest projects this country would ever see. Oh, God bless this country. Please, Father, bless us all too with them. Brothers and sisters, uncle, auntie, fellow Guyanese, let us not be fooled. Let me tell you this in a very clear and simple language. Please listen to me carefully. I beg you. Vietnam built a 300 megawatt plant. Yes. Not 165 Guyana going to build, but 300 megawatt for 440 million US dollar. We building 165 for 700 million US dollar. Kazakhstan built their 300 megawatt plant. Not 165 Guyana going and build, 300 megawatt for 340 million US. How much we building we want for? Yes, we building 165 megawatt, not 300, for 700 million US. And the Chinese people didn't tell me that figure. Brassington tell us that figure, the Chinese man said. Malaysia is building a 300, hydro plant, too, at a cost of 312 million US, starting in 2 years' time. And Brassington telling us the Chinese man building 165, not 300, for 700 million US. Father, I hope you're listening me. And he got the gall to tell us this is a superb deal. Putting in no money with no risk. I hope you guys following what I'm saying. Ethiopia is building a huge hydro plant at a cost of about $600,000 per kilowatt. Far less than Kazakhstan, Malaysia, and Vietnam. Yes, far less. Those people power plants cost less than $1 million US per megawatt. But a Chinese company selling we for 4.2 million US dollar per megawatt. And want you and me must buy that. Yes. We chop it. We buy them yesterday. Or we eating something. Maybe we eating grass to buy that. Or we either got nose ring. Wrong with two. Brassington, President Ali, the Guyanese people don't wear nose ring on the toe, especially Lall. Uncle and Auntie, hear what's going on in Barbados. We carried that story 2 days ago in the Kaieteur news. They are way ahead of Malaysia, Ethiopia, Vietnam, and all the rest of others. Yes, they are heading away from that type of projects into a cleaner and cheaper energy source of electricity. Them are already there. Where the developed world is heading, Uncle. Hydrogen and solar power. Yes, man, that's where they are. That's where the world is going to. Not even hydro plant anymore. Yes. Ali them stressing a nation behind. No, not hydro. Barbados, the lady that I love, Miss Mia Motley. Yes, Mia Moore. Is spending, Uncle Man, you got to listen to this carefully. This lady, this iron lady, is spending just over 100 million US dollar for putting more than Brassington 165 megawatt. The Prime Minister is about to install 178 megawatt for 100 million US dollar, Uncle. Yes. And we going and putting 165 for 700 million dollar. That's what Brassington want we to believe and calling it a good deal. Joshua?
Yes, sir.
Barbados is going to invest $100 million for 178 megawatt. Jagdev telling me the Chinese people are putting 165 megawatt and cost 700 million US. What a Guyana we live in. Oh, how long more you guys gonna take this thing, man? How long more you guys will allow them to take us down this road? They planned this thing since 2008, like you heard him say 15 years ago, and they didn't get through. Now they're coming back with it, with a different song. In a nutshell, uncle, this is the resurrected Amelia Falls hydroelectric project. Can you please let me hear your take on it?